think it's upside down. There you go.
You gave me two, so I did unwrap the other one.
Uh-huh.
And all right, hey, okay, welcome to Rapid Art. My name is Paul Peterson. I'm here today with Tim Evenson from, I know Tim from Freeman, South Dakota. I think Tim is currently living in Minneapolis. Is that right? Am I doing okay so far?
So far, so good.
Tim's a singer, songwriter, guitar player, guitar aficionado, and he has three recordings out. The self-titled debut, Pleasure Horse, 2017's EP, Lost on the Mountain, 2018's EP, The New Lonely, and they're on iTunes, or not, maybe not iTunes, but they're on iMusic.
Yeah, they should be. They should be
okay.
on all that.
So I've been listening to them all day on iMusic.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I liked Pleasure Horse, okay, the debut. But man, those EPs are really outstanding.
The quality is pretty drastically different.
Yeah, the recording quality, and it sounds like even the musicians, I don't know if it's the same group.
More live band stuff with the newer ones for sure.
But yeah, you guys really sound great together. It was exciting to listen to it. I mean, the songwriting just phenomenal.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was really just excited listening to it. So if you're listening to this and you have access to iTunes or iMusic, and then I don't know, there's some stuff on YouTube too. YouTube,
yeah,
as well,
it should be on all the platforms if I did everything correctly. Anyway,
I didn't have. Yeah, I found it, no problem. I was all ready to, try to dig out a CD player, and fortunately, I didn't have to. It was awesome.
Okay.
But you should, definitely check it out. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what you've been doing. I know you've been in a band and you've been recording and
so
doing some great things.
There's another record that's been done for a little while that we were going to release in March, actually, last March, and had a release show set up, and we're going to record a video, and that was probably like the third week of March, so it all got canceled, and then just sort of put the record in our back pocket, I guess, and we'll release it whenever we can play live again, I suppose, or at least shortly before that.
But do you feel like you need to have some kind of presence out in the real world to release it, or what?
Not really. I'm more just felt that's like, you set the date for the release show, and then that's the motivation to.
Oh yeah, right.
And without that, I just, I struggled to kind of find the motivation to do that. So it's been collecting dust for me, but no one else has heard it, so it doesn't make much difference.
Okay, and is that a full 12-song album or what?
It'll be 7 songs.
Okay.
We recorded it here in Minneapolis at the old. My friend was renting a studio underneath the old Sound 80 studio, which is where Dylan recorded some of the Blood on the Tracks songs. The ones he did with the Minneapolis band were recorded in the upstairs of the studio that we did this new record in.
So were there any like Bob Dylan vibes in the?
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to say basement tape vibes, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, okay. Well, one thing I was kind of curious about is what's the EP format that you chose for the previous two? Is there a reason why you kind of went with that as opposed to a full album? Or is that just the way of things these days? Or
I don't know. At least at that time it was. It changes so fast that I don't know. I felt at that time that like when we were doing those records in a little bit nicer studios, or at least like studios of people who weren't like friends of mine that we had to pay full price for. You know, that we just couldn't afford to really put the time in to do a full record at a time. We would do an EP at one place, you know, play some shows and wait for a little more cash to come in, and then do another EP at a different studio.
Okay, I don't know. I like the EP format. It kind of reminds me. What? Oh, well, I mean, and then like in the record stores, you know, it was always fun to back in the day to dig through there'd always be, you know, like a bin of EPs on the end of the, you know, it'd be XYZ and then EPs a lot of times from, you know, bands that I don't know, just
it seemed like in the like age of CDs that the EP was always kind of a like B-side sort of thing, where a band would put out like an EP like between full-length records that maybe had some, you know, some B material.
I think that 88-minute runtime kind of ruined a lot of stuff, you know.
Yeah, that's a lot of time to fill on the disc.
So yeah, no, I think that's how. Yeah, there were a lot of. I remember getting things, you know, like on Dead Letter Office, that REM, I don't know, like B-sides and stuff. I think Chronic Town was on that. So it was, you know, it was that was a cool use of that extra space, but yeah, it got kind of weird. I don't know if you need an 88-minute album, maybe, but that's my thoughts on it. Anyway, so like if people go to iMusic and, you know, listen to your songs, do you get paid for plays, or how does that work?
Yeah, I think there's pennies involved there.
Okay, because I was feeling slightly guilty listening to these songs for free. Well, not free exactly, but
yeah. Well, you should only feel slightly guilty for slightly paying.
Okay. All right. Well, where are they available then? I mean, as far as if we want to buy one.
I think you can get them on our website, pleasurehorsemusic.com.
Okay, and that Tim will send me that link, and I'll make sure it's in the description.
Or through the Bandcamp also, if you just want digital.
Okay. And I mean, did you have to go through a process to get your music uploaded to these sites?
It's been a while. It's something I've been researching more recently in getting ready to release this new record. Trying to figure out better ways to get paid doing that. Because there's all kinds of, Spotify is a big part of it, and figuring out the algorithm of what you can get, you know, actually get paid for plays, get on playlists and stuff like that. It's just a whole very different landscape. Kind of annoying to have to research it, but how
it can be it takes a lot of time away from dreaming about songs and stuff. You know, writing. Yeah. So do you write most of the material? I mean, are you the?
Yeah. I write all the songs.
Okay.
And then, so for this last record that we just recorded, that's not out yet. I wrote the songs and then I demoed them all in my basement studio, and got them to the point where when we went into the studio, we cut a few songs live, and then we took a few of those demos and replaced, like, you know, my drum part or whatever.
Yeah. All right. So when you demoed it, I mean, like you put it wasn't just you and acoustic guitar. It was like you put it all together.
So arranged it, played all the instruments and stuff.
Yeah, that's impressive. That's a lot of work.
It is.
A lot of time.
That's what I've been doing a lot of now, without the ability to play live, I have really dove into recording a lot more. And in the process of recording that last record with my friend, where I could kind of sit and look over his shoulder, and sort of watch how he mixed and how he approached tracking and all that stuff, I could sort of watch that and get a general idea. So when I was able to get things set up here at home a little bit, I had a better starting point, I guess. And now having all this free time at home, I've spent a lot of time working on it. So I'd like to be able to record the next record myself, maybe not mix it myself, but at least do the bulk of the recording.
Yeah. So when you start recording these demos, are the songs finished like 100%? Or do you kind of get to a point where it's like, yeah, this is close enough, I'm going to, see what happens, and kind of leave it to chance? Or how do you approach that?
Yeah, sometimes that's a lot of the difference of recording in my own studio by myself, playing all the instruments. I tend to, lay down the core instrument, usually acoustic guitar, and then start adding stuff, and then kind of, add things to taste as I'm going along. And then maybe like, oh, well, this would be a good place for a horn part, or a, or a violin solo or whatever. But it's sort of the approach, taking that approach where I'm playing everything kind of leads me to do a little bit of writing on the go, or more arranging, I guess, than actually like writing the lyrics and stuff.
And so maybe if you were paying for studio time, you might have it down beforehand.
Exactly.
Okay. So do you think you end up with a better end product, maybe, or one that you're happier with all this extra time? Or
I'm hoping to get there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the process, I guess. I definitely did feel like a lot of past recordings we made, specifically those 2 EPs that were done in proper studios, I guess.
Yeah.
Those, I felt like the quality was better, but like the process was a little rushed.
Okay.
I like to have a lot of time to sit with things and have a lot of time in the studio to get ideas and change things and add things.
Right. Okay. So maybe you're listening to it now and you think, I really needed a whatever.
Yeah. Here. Didgeridoo, usually.
Okay. Right. There isn't enough didgeridoo in well, maybe. Yeah. Okay. And then, all right, the lyrics, there's some good lyrics. Do you have any favorite lines? I picked a couple out listening today.
Oh boy.
Well, not to put you on the spot, but
I guess I'd rather hear your favorite ones than try to think of my own.
All right. Well, then actually there were a lot of really, I thought, great lines. But I was, doing things, and so this would be kind of the great lines I heard, and I happened to have a pen and pencil
right okay
at hand. But well, I liked this is, I think, from the first album, takes more than nudie suits and cowboy boots. So like you're really into the whole like country rock aesthetic, and like these references to maybe country rock groups from the past.
Yeah.
And like what's happening. I thought that was cool.
Especially at that, that's probably been 8 years ago now that I wrote that song. And so I was in like a Graham Parsons cover band at the time.
Oh yeah.
called the Flying Dorito Brothers.
I know I ran into these city pages, sites, or, I Googled you and, your band, and, I would just get sort of a bit of text, but I couldn't actually look at the whole article, and I misread Flying Dorito Brothers as Flying Dorito Brothers. And I got kind of I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But okay, Flying Dorito Brothers. Are you guys still together?
No, that was very, very short-lived.
Okay. Hey, the last time we hung out, we were driving around Minneapolis looking for a guitar. I was dragging you all over the place.
Yeah.
All right. And you wanted to know what's the deal with this Roger McGuinn guy?
Okay, yeah.
Was that a gag?
Boy, I don't think so. Probably
okay.
Not. I wouldn't try to put you on intentionally.
All right. Well, I just
I don't remember specifically.
Well, I think, I knew you were heavy into, Graham Parsons, and, I've spent a lot of time listening to, that kind of country music from country pop or whatever from that era. But I mean, I came into it from the Byrds.
Yeah.
First. So I knew, like, I came across McGuinn, and then I didn't really know much about Parsons until I got to the Sweethearts of the Rodeo stuff, which was somehow like in. So I don't know.
A little bit of the split happened, right, between Parsons and the Byrds.
Yeah, I think so. But I don't know.
I remember, from when I was in high school, taking art classes from you, and we would do some painting for, the first half hour and then 10 minutes, and then we get the guitars out. We played some songs from Sweetheart of the Rodeo, and that's where I first heard it. So it had a lasting impact, I guess.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I know I'd do all these gospel songs when I'd be out playing in the bar, playing all these gospel tunes from, whether it would be like Byrds covers or covers of whatever. And there'd always be like one guy that was like, "Oh man, that is so cool," and then everybody else would be like, "Could you please,
not play the Christian life?"
I mean, so there'd be like one guy that would get it. Which was another thought I had, like the EP. Those EPs, they have such a nice, like, I mean, they're really, just a really laid back, sweet sound, and from my experience playing like live, it's a little different. I mean, I never really, I've done a few kind of like, sit down and listen things, but I mean, mostly I've been playing in bars or, restaurants. But like when you go out on the road and you're playing these at like the bigger ballrooms around, Minnesota and whatever, I mean, is there like a scene for that kind of music, or?
Yeah, there is
live anyway.
Or there was. Who knows what's.
Oh yeah, right.
But it was kind of starting to pick up a little steam. I felt like there's like, are you familiar with the Cactus Blossoms?
No.
It's a duo of brothers, and they do, they started off kind of like covering like Everly Brothers stuff, lots of close.
Oh, nice.
And so I feel like they kind of led the charge a little bit in the in that sort of folk country rock scene that was here in Minneapolis. But and sometimes you try to just like throw in a couple more upbeat cover songs, or pick your up-tempo songs for the live shows, but yeah, I think people do, especially with things like vocal harmony. People get into.
Right.
Even
Okay,
if it's not the peppiest of song.
What's that?
Even if it's not the peppiest song in the world.
Right. Oh yeah. No, I mean it's really good stuff. Okay. Oh, what's another good shoot? Okay, the song Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the ways to be wounded, you could never settle on one. Man, that just I mean, you really captured somebody.
Yeah.
Or some made up fictional person, but I mean, it really brought together. I mean, it brought together, like, you know, I mean, in my mind, I just could picture, certain people and situations and arguments.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and that's I enjoy doing that kind of writing where it's sort of it's a halfway me, halfway a character, halfway a real character, you know. Just sort of mixing yourself in with other people, and then, you know, hopefully you get a line that stands out and can be kind of understood in multiple different ways, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, and do you find that you always know that line is going to act in that way or function in that way?
Yeah, those are the ones that feel the best, like coming off the pen or whatever. You can kind of, those are the exciting ones anyway, I think.
The hole-in-ones.
Yeah, right.
Keep you golfing. Okay. And then, okay, well, the other one, I don't know, this maybe isn't a great line, but I liked it. I've got I've got an army of marmots following me.
Oh,
Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I've always had this thing. I've had this kind of thing for marmots.
Well, that's probably the most autobiographical song on that record. So.
Okay.
It's, you know, it's kind of like a Rip Van Winkle type story. So the marmots are sort of representative of the dwarves or whatever, or whoever it runs into.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, marmots, man.
They're cute. Girls love marmots.
Is that true?
I don't know. No, probably not. Why? Let's see. EP songwriting. Yeah, this is pretty good. I think we've done about 20 minutes.
Okay.
Anything else? You got a song? Can you play something? Oh, except you don't have a great mic, and
I don't.
Would you try anyway? Like maybe something?
Yeah. Let's see. I'll try to kind of stay back a little bit and not blast.
Okay. What guitar? What are you playing?
This is.
Oh, have I seen that guitar? Or no?
Possibly. When we were at Nick Schrog's house, you had a like a custom made Telecaster that weighed about 50 pounds. I see.
Oh yeah, a friend of mine, a guy in Sioux Falls, made it.
Okay.
Yeah. And he wanted. Yeah, I remember. That was fun. That was a good night.
Yeah, so I might have had this guitar with me then. It's sure possible. I've had it for a while.
It seems like we were talking guilds one time at March or something.
Well, you got one or two, or
yeah, I've got one that I like quite a bit. It's not old though. It's a newer model, but anyway.
This one was I had a same year, kind of the same, like exact same looking guitar, but a Dreadnought is 1980. And I sold that one to buy this one. And I use this for like my live guitar because it's got a pickup in it, and It's called a Baby Jumbo. So it's it's kind of a smaller body, but it's still pretty loud. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't
know. You want me to play a snippet or a whole song or what do you?
Whatever you feel comfortable doing. I know when the guy's sound isn't quite right, it can be kind of nerve-wracking, but
yeah, well, it sounds fine to me.
I think it sounds a-okay. Actually, it's better than some of these that I've done, actually.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I'll do this is a song that'll be on the forthcoming album.
What's it called?
It's called Autumn Beach.
Yeah.
All right. Shot me Mona Lisa's eyes in the morning. Without a smile, she asked me, where were you last night? I told her I'd return as soon as I was able. She poured some sugar in her oatmeal, shook her head and cried. Need I remind you when the darkness started creeping in? There was still a little splendor left in us back then. We need something swift and sweet at the same time, before the end of this gets started up again. Things were halfway okay back in the middle. Along that autumn beach we held each other tight. No authority on duty to control us. Drunk off on memories that we left behind. And I'm reminded when the darkness started creeping in, there was still a little splendor left in us back then. We need something swift and sweet at the same time, before the end of this gets started up again. When all the goodness turned to grief in us, I couldn't stand up, I couldn't sleep. Like a life that's bled and died in me, covered up by falling leaves on that autumn beach.
Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Hey, thanks, Tim. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to talk and catch up. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah. Can you wave goodbye to everybody?
Yes, I can. Wait.
That's my thing.
It's this hand. That's your thing, huh?
I don't know. I hear it's a good thing to do.
Waving goodbye on Zoom calls.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because nobody waves in real life, you know?
Oh, it's a shame that this is what it took to bring waving back, but
right, I know.
But here we are, one of the positives.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Anyway.
Where are my Lefty Frizzell CDs?
Lefty Frizzell CDs? You must have me confused with someone else.